Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your 2020 presidential candidate mock draft. You have two of the nation's finest. You get to choose between Donald J. Trump, also known as not my president, Donald J. Trump, or you can choose Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe for a good reason. Well, it's not a good reason, but Joe Biden. And what we're going to do today is just go over a few of the candidates, soft spots, how they might go to answer questions against each other, how they might attack each other in one way, or maybe miss a point in another way. But anyway, grab yourself a Coke and popcorn and get ready for what's to come. And you can choose. This will be number one of the 3 presidential mock draft debates that we're going to have for you. And so grab something, have some fun, and then enjoy it. Your new president will be one of these two guys. My first question is for you, Mr. President Trump, or not my President Trump. The first question is for you, Mr. President. What are your thoughts on your competitor over here, Mr. Joe Biden?
He was never considered a good senator. He was only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's
And Mr. Biden, the same question for you. Is what are your thoughts on Mr. Donald Trump?
I'm part of that Obama coalition. I come out of the black community in terms of my support. If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me because they know me. They know who I am. 3 former chairs of the Black Caucus, the only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people.
No,
my point is
that's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first. I said the first African-American elected.
This is why he's a great politician, because that was one of the greatest non-answers I've ever heard. And that's okay.
Why doesn't he just act like a president? That's a stupid way to say it.
Donald Trump was asked on...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I probably best I don't.
They want to put money at the politicians' hands so that the politicians don't look stupid. Okay.
I tell you what, I'm so darn proud. And those poor people who have lost, anyway.
I just told them I've got to come over and see the fake news. Let's go. What do you have, John?
We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, or a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there.
He choked. Here's another one who's going, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Don't ask me the question.
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say?
Look, Biden and his son are stone cold crooked, and you know it. His son walks out with millions of dollars. The kid knows nothing. You know it, and so do we. Go ahead, ask a question.
I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental as well as my mental fitness, and to make a judgment about who I am.
It's a whole hoax. And you know who's playing into the hoax? People like you and the fake news media that we have in this country. And I say in many cases, the corrupt media, because you're corrupt. Much of the media in this country is not just fake, it's corrupt. And you have some very fine people, too. Great journalists, great reporters. But to a large extent, It's corrupt and it's fake.
By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister.
So I always used to say the toughest people are Manhattan real estate guys and blah, blah. Now I say they're babies.
Who's
They're
the
babies.
toughest?
The political people. This is the most deceptive, vicious world. It is vicious. It's full of lies, deceit, and deception. You make a deal with somebody, and it's like making a deal with that table.
Because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Now, Sleepy Joe would say the unemployment rate in the great state of Ohio. No, you're in South Carolina. Now, Sleepy Joe.
I'm ready on day one after more than 3 years in office. Why isn't Donald Trump ready? Mr. President, wake up.
Now, Sleepy Joe.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
Joe, you're in South. They come up and you ever see the guy that no, it's South Carolina, it's not Ohio. Okay. Then he goes, all right, Iowa. Did you say Iowa? No. I did that like 7 times. If I did that once, it would be the end of the road, right? Be the end of the road.
I can hardly wait to debate him on stage. I want people to see me standing next to him and him standing next to me. We'll see who's sleepy.
No, but could you imagine if I said just a small fraction of the mistakes he makes, which are unbelievable, every speech?
Mr. Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man, these are back to back. Anyway.
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask.
Administration and before leading to a standard that we provide efficiency for appliances. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air.
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President, I was
That's
going
enough.
to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
That's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask.
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get...
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They can't even figure out how to deal with the fact that they have this great division between the China Sea and the mountains in the east, in the west.
They'd say Trump has lost it. They like to say that anyway, I guess, don't they? These people are bad people. That's the end of his evening. That's the end of his political career. And then after the debate, they're reviewing him. They said, Joe Biden had a great night last night.
It's a good question. Number one, I was a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Over the course
Okay, just sit down, please. But when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny. Not a joke. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. All men and women created by you know the thing.
CNN's fake news. I don't take questions. CNN is fake news. I don't take questions from CNN. John Roberts of Fox. Let's go to a real network.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.